Something new, something old. It's La Bruja, back with Cool in Your Cold.
So welcome back, La Bruja. A lot has happened for you since you've been on the show last. So let's talk about that. What have you been up to?
Well, the last time we were together, I was doing an open mic in El Barrio. And since then, I created an album called Brujalicious. And it's Latin hip-hop, reggaeton, poetry, my characters from my one-woman show. Everything is in there. It's like a big melting pot of Brujaliciousness. And it's been so much fun. DJ Precision of the Executioners mixes it all up. And here I am with an album that I'm so proud of. You know, I don't get tired of listening to it. I've made 2 other little independent albums before, and you know, I listen to them now. I cringe a little bit. But this time, I do not cringe.
Well, how would you define Brujaliciousness?
It is just everything that you are. You know, a lot of people, when I first started out, would tell me I needed to focus on one thing. You know, if you're a poet, be a poet. If you're, you know, you're not an MC yet, why don't, if, you know, there's no Latina MCs, why don't you just do salsa? You know, like people would tell you all kinds of things, and I just didn't let that stop me. I was like, well, then you're just not ready. If that's what you think, then you're just not ready. But I know that somebody is. And that's what Brujaliciousness is about. It's about really believing in all that you are and putting it out there fearlessly.
Tell us about your work here at The Point, and what significance does this place hold for you?
This is my artistic home. I developed my craft here in this place. I started the first open mic here. It was called Verbal Ingredients. And I started on an open mic, so it was really important to me to open a mic to the community. And some of the best poetry that I've ever heard has been in this house, you know, just raw street poets, you know, just speaking truth. And it's a beautiful place.
So let's talk about the writing workshops that you've developed.
I call it How Can I Change the World Writing Workshop. And I basically go into these classrooms, you know, from kindergarten classes to college classes, talk about writing, how I go about my process. And at the end, I ended off with an open mic. And they say the most profound things, you know, and it gives them that license to perform, you know? And I tell them, when you speak, speak for the clouds, you know, so the clouds can hear you.
So you're involved with theater, dance, the visual arts, music. Is there one area that you identify with the most?
You know, I like to tell people that it's like choosing a favorite finger. It's kind of hard to choose because you need them all to pack a punch. But I definitely am rooted in poetry, spoken word. That is the first art that I was exposed to, along with dance, but my own finding of self came through poetry. It's the first form of media, you know, before there was cameras, before there was newspapers, that's what there was the spoken word.
What's your fondest memory of growing up in the Bronx?
I love the Bronx. I'm still here, you know, I'm born and raised and I'm still in the Bronx. And I'm really proud about that. I have great memories of jumping rope outside and singing hip hop before we knew it was hip hop. Before it had a title, it was just what we did, you know? And I remember I had this little crew. We would rhyme. I had a Casio keyboard. And
all of your work is about instilling confidence, empowering people. Where does your sense of empowerment and confidence come from?
That's a good question. I'd say my parents. I'm very, very lucky to have parents that, even when I didn't believe in myself, they believed in me.